But it's how you make me feel, make me feel.
Hello, friends and internet. I hope you guys are all doing well as we continue to venture into the unknown. Well, today I just wanted to do this quick video about this recent song that's coming out. Today is May the 8th, 2020, in the great year of our Lord. And the song is coming out tomorrow on the 9th of May, 2020. It's part of an EP, Make Me Feel, and A Sign of Trouble. Maybe A Sign of Trouble would be the more appropriate one to look at right now, but in any case, this is the one I've chosen to look at. Yeah, so without any further ado, let's just go ahead and run through the sounds. This is a pretty basic track, really, and it's composed of almost completely of samples, which is not something I usually do, but house music comes from sampling, so there is no shame in the game. And especially here, we've got a lot of kind of organic instruments that are really nice. So they're really cool samples that really fit together really well, and I particularly like it. Not only in terms of technique is it very different from a lot of things I've done in the last period of time, also stylistically pretty different as well. So yeah, let's go. Like I said, let's take a look here. So first of all, we got the bass line. Right, kick drum, we all know what that does. This loop is really interesting, and it's kind of like one of the most defining elements, if not the defining element of the drum groove, and it's this. Right, so that's got a couple things going on it. The bongos. Cool, the hi-hats. And even though these are samples, they have been modified in some way. I don't have the full sample here, but like, you can see there was something here, and I had chopped this loop up in some way and then later recombined it. And let's see. Yeah, so I mean, all of these have been modified in one way or another. Like this one is just using 2-bar loop of something that was probably longer, so on and so forth. Anyhow, oh, the one thing we didn't look at, I guess, was the rides here. Let's take a listen to what those are doing. Right, let's go ahead real quick, just build up the drums all together, what those sound like. Right, those are the drums. Let's just listen to it with the bass, and then we'll start taking a look at everything else. Right, so probably the next most important thing here is the vocal hook. Where, you know, the title of the track comes from, and it sounds like this.
But it's how you make me feel.
And then it repeats, but a slight.
But it's how you make me feel, make me feel.
slight variations, slight chop there. So so this phrase, it came from a more complete a cappella, where this guy was probably singing a lot more, but I've just used only this one phrase. It says,
but it's how you make me feel.
Right. And on the second part where it repeats, I've just chopped that sample up to use the same exact phrase, but in a different way. So let's see if we can recreate that on the fly, right? So the only sample that's being used is this, right? So switch down to here. And the first time through, it just plays it.
But it's how you make me feel.
Right. And the second time through, I've chopped it up a little bit. It goes like this. And the part that repeats is the make, when he says, make me feel. So listen here.
But it's how you make me feel.
Right, so it's this, make
me feel.
And then that other one, is it here? Is the first one here? I guess it's here. Alright, so this won't be 100% accurate because we're just doing it here on the fly, but you get the idea. So make, and then
but it's how you make me
extend the whole phrase, right? So let's see, did I get it right? It looks like I did this too early because this ends before that one, but let's look.
But it's how you make me feel, me feel.
Oh, I took the wrong part of the sample. That's the problem. So it's
make me feel.
It's right here, make. All right, so it's make me feel. Right. So that should do it. I probably just need to slide this over a little bit so we get the whole part of make. You can see that right here, this has been faded in. I don't know if I explained this before. I just put this track below this one so I could use this one as a reference to see how I chopped it up originally. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just looking at this, and this went like that. It was probably faded in something like this, right? So here's what we've recreated on the fly.
But it's how you make me feel, make me feel.
Pretty close, right? And here's how it's done in the song. Sounds
but
like
it's how you make me feel, make me feel.
Right, so that's how you get that. Well, that's how I got the variation using that same vocal phrase. Under this, I've just duplicated part of the vocal where he says feel, and that sounds like it's probably been pitched down a little bit. Maybe not. Let's just turn off the effect. Maybe it's just the effects and the EQ that makes it sound lower.
Feel.
No, it hasn't been pitched down. It's just the delay and the EQ. So when those play together, it sounds like this.
But it's how you make me feel.
Right. A lot of people, or the old way of doing these kind of reverb or delay effects has been to send it to a return channel. I'm not a big fan of return channels for creative stuff like this because I like to be able to have that track right here, right next to the other, original. So, so I don't have to go down here, open up my return channels, then adjust it and all of that stuff. And if I want to do automation or anything like that, having it on its own track for me is just a lot easier to work with than trying to send it to a return track and work with it from there. So yeah, that's how I do it. Maybe that'll work for you too. So that's the vocal. I mean, there's just kind of like some small different variations of it.
Make me feel, me feel, me feel, me feel.
So that's just at the end of where the vocal is for the last time in the song. It's got this big delay to kind of wash it out, right? So next we have the piano, which is a sample that I've chopped up as well. And there's two different versions of it in the song. So we have the full version of the piano, and then we have a small looped version of the piano, which is the half a bar, 2 beats. So yeah, instead of trying to explain that, let's listen to the two different pianos. It's once again the same sample, but they've just been looped differently. So here's both versions. Right? Yeah, so my computer is having a little CPU trouble, which is very, very, very strange. Anyhow, so yeah, this is kind of like just two different sections of the track that are using different versions of the piano. So let's listen to the whole track so you can hear that in context, how the piano changes, how it works, and yeah, have a listen.
But it's how you make me feel.
So yeah, when that section changes, you have three different things that are happening. You have, number one, the vocal is coming out. The piano is changing. It's from the A section to the B section, let's call it. And then you also have these violins that are coming in. So these violins are coming in like this. Right. So yeah, those are the violins. So right at that section, you have all three of those changes happening, which is supposed to make it pretty interesting. Here we have this guitar dub sound. It's kind of kind of reggae guitar dub effect. It's got two different delays on it, reverb, and that's being compressed, EQ'd. But yeah, let's listen to it. How it plays in the song, and then we'll take the effects off it and hear what it sounds like just in its raw state. So this is how it's used in the song. Right. So like I said, this is how it sounds if there was no delay or reverb on it. It's just a single hit, right? Just real quick. But it's the delay and the reverb that gives it this rhythmic effect and makes it longer. So let's listen to that one more time. Nothing on it, right? And with the effects as used in the song. Right, so yeah, like again, I've just chopped that single note from somewhere and then put the effects on it to fit my song. The horns too, same thing here. This was a part of a bigger horn melody sample, and I've just chopped it up and I've just used this, 2-bar section. And here's what those horns sound like. Right, so those are the horns. I think we've looked at everything. Well, we've got this high string. It's just a violin on one note. This is one of the things that's actually not a sample. It comes from the Nexus. go to these vinyl 70 strings, either 1, 2, or 3, almost always to do this kind of thing. That's being sidechained. This is the sidechain I always use. So it kind of gives those strings this pumping effect to go with the rhythm of the song. There's this kind of effect here. I've called it bird effect because, well, you'll see. Right, and that once again is something that's being delayed. It's got a pretty big delay on it and some pretty big reverb's not huge, but this is what it would sound like without any effects. And it just cuts off, right? But the way I've used it is using this delay so it carries on for a while. Right, and then here we've got this string. What is this? This is like a oh, this is a string too. Oh no, I'm sorry, this is the other channel. Let's look here again. Oh no, it is also a string sample, but it is just in a lower octave, and it's using a delay, and it sounds like this. Right, so that's kind of all working together. That sound, the effect, bird effect, and this this guitar, has something to do with it as well. So if we listen to those three together, we start on the bird effect. Well, actually, we're going to hear the guitar first, then we're going to hear the bird effect. Then we're going to hear this dub string. And these are all kind of things that are happening just like at the transition of this section, from this section going back into this one. So here's what that sounds like. Right, so all those sounds just kind of like have their space to work around the rest of the song that's going on. So let's listen to it all in context here, and you can kind of see the effect that it has. Right, that's great, except for my computer skipping a little bit. Here we go. This is just a small kind of ambient noise that I have in the background. Just sounds like this. Just some noise that I thought sounded pretty cool, because this song kind of sounds, kind of more kind of retro in a way. So this vinyl, sound in the background kind of adds to that a little bit. This is a sound that I've basically used as a white noise effect, and it's being sidechained, and the filter is being automated. So let's listen to it in isolation, and then we'll listen to it in the context of the song. Right here, this is the filter. You'll see the filter open up, and you'll hear more high frequency content in the sound. And the whole time it's being sidechained here, and you'll see the volume being manipulated there. Right, so that's how that's happening. Let's listen to it in the context. Cool. That's how that's happening. Got this crash cymbal. It's also got quite a bit of delay and reverb on it as well. We've got this effect. Right. And that sound is happening as we kind of come into this kind of breakdown section here. So let's listen to the effect that has in the context of the song. Yeah, so that's what that does. I guess we've covered everything in the song. How cool. All right. Well, thanks for watching this far. I appreciate it. The song, once again, is called Make Me Feel, and it comes out tomorrow, which happens to be the 9th of May, 2020, in the great year of our Lord. So I hope you enjoyed this, and until next time, take care. Bye-bye.